Hello, everyone. This is episode 10 of the Lachimolala Diaries. Thank you for joining us once again, our loyal 95 subscribers. We need 5 more guys to get our custom URL. So please like, follow, share, subscribe. Um, yes, that. Today we have two amazing guests. One of them you already recognize because she's been a star. She's been in 2 of our episodes before. Betsy Wofel. Thank you so much for joining us, Betsy. And our topic for today, by the way, is second leads in Korean dramas. And we're really excited to talk about the second leads. And Chef will introduce our second special guest for today. Go ahead.
Thanks, Shoots. So very thrilled to have Supriya here, our special guest for tonight, because Betsy is now a resident guest. So we're going to call Supriya the special guest. Supriya is a writer, she's an editor, and more importantly, she's a K-drama fan. And I've known her through Twitter, and that's how I've also known that she's a K-drama fan. That's where I also approached her and asked, "Hey, would you like to do this with us?" And was really glad that she was up for it immediately. So yeah, that's it, and we are going to start with what we usually do, which is our segments. Since it's about the second leads, I think it's important that we also start with understanding why we are doing this particular subject, and each of us will have our explanations to that. So our first segment is literally that, which is why do we have a soft corner for second leads? We'll start with you, Supriya.
That is a big responsibility. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be on this show with all of you. And I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about second leads. Because my disclosure before I start talking about them is that I don't find K-drama romance like particularly convincing. So even though it's something that, even though I love watching K-dramas, I actually don't end up watching them for the excitement of, who's going to get together with whom, or even necessarily, oh, how are they going to be together? Are they going to be like good together or less good? It feels like a foregone conclusion more often than not, right? So with that tension kind of out of the way, the thing that really makes love in K-dramas and romance in K-dramas exciting is that network of relationships that people have with each other. The main leads have them with each other, and then there's this whole, stratum of family and friends and co-workers, and all of these people, no matter how small their roles, they come in and they add something to how people grow, how they learn from each other, what their journeys are, how they heal from trauma. And it's really interesting to me the role that second leads play in that. So as much as it's about second leads offering a different kind of love or a different vision of love or a different possibility of romance for our two main characters, I think it's how different their journeys end up being that really fascinates me, both for men and women.
Yeah, actually, now that you put it like that, it's true. I think that mystery, that suspense is never there. We do wait for them to make out till the 10th episode. I'll give them that. Other than that, yes, there's no tension. What about you, Bets? Why do we have a soft corner for second leads?
I think it's the fact that they're always like there, like comfort. Like it's because like always the first lead, obviously, like not all of them, but most of them they always have an edge to them and stuff like that. But you need that kind of calmness, that balance. And like I've always said this, like with life too, it's always the people who are there, which usually are the second leads, right? Which I mean breaks my heart that they don't get the girl at the end. But it's always those people that show up all the time. Like they're always there, they're always very comforting, and they just take care of those people that I don't know why you don't, like the others don't see it. Obviously it's a drama. I try not to kind of like get mad about it, but those people always are there, who invest time in you and everything. They deserve to get you at the end. Like they deserve at least part of your attention or part of you, right? So it does break my heart that happens, but it is the fact that it's so comforting and they're always there. Like that's just kind of like the theme with it. Like while you run off and act crazy when you see the other the main person, but it's just that comfort.
You come back to them.
Yeah, it's always the comfort that kind of just is there, that I think.
Love it.
Yeah.
For me, I think we sometimes see ourselves in them. So they are like kind of very relatable because we've all gone through unrequited love. So yeah, a little bit, sometimes we see ourselves in them, and we've all been there at some point of time. And the other thing I was discussing with Chef is I think like us women in general, we like to take care of broken things. Like we always have a soft spot for the underdog, or like the person who is not doing well or not getting what they want. So if there are two teams, I don't know, in a cricket match, I always end up supporting the losing team, or like the team that's not doing well. For some, like I've always had that soft spot for the underperforming, the underdog. So I guess second leads in general for me will like they'll always, I'll always feel for them, love them, and support them. Fighting.
It's like New Zealand should have won the World Cup.
Yes, they should have.
They should have got that trophy.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same, but I've also realized that it's something that realization has come to me much later. There's this particular song, I will translate it, but it goes something like "Sabko apni hi kisi baat pe rona aaya," which means that you always like the thing that hurts the most is the one that you can relate to the most when you see it on screen. And I remember this one guy was once many years ago, we were at a cafe and he was telling me about, I'm not sure what the movie was, maybe My Blueberry Nights, but he's telling me about the blueberry cheesecake, and, the guy and the girl, they're having this conversation about, there's this cake and that cake, and people still go for this cake. And then she's like, why? What is wrong with this cake? And then he says, there's nothing wrong with this cake. People just like different things. And I think that moment is etched in my, in my head and heart, because I had been somebody's second lead at the time. And sometime later, this guy who was sitting next to me became the second lead in my life.
Always happens.
So yeah, so it was just like, it was that moment. I think since that moment, I've had the soft corner because I've been there and I've seen someone else go through it because of me. And I think that was my journey into caring for the second lead. So yeah, that's pretty much the story.
I have to say that as a woman, Shruti, first of all, relatable. You have a soft spot for the underdog. But as a woman, I also have a soft corner for the female second leads, who often have a trajectory that's very different from the male second leads, right? The male second leads are the good guys, but the female second leads are the bitches or the snobs, particularly in like traditional K-dramas. And I always end up feeling like I want to know what happens to them. So, okay, you end up not getting what you want. Maybe you didn't want this guy for the right reasons. But fine, you've lost something for the first time in your life. I want to know what happens to you after that, girl. Like, do you become like, how do you come back? Do you fall in love again? Do you become like a super successful boss at work? How do you change? So I think they also present like interesting possibilities of growth that the happily ever after kind of closes for the main leads.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you sort of covered this now, because it just makes it easier for some of my answers to come in the next few segments. And speaking of next few segments, the next segment is about the most heartbreaking scene that or moment that involves a second lead across gender. So we'll start with you again, Supriya.
Can I have two, one for each gender?
Yes.
Go for it.
Okay, all right. I am picking Ko Kyung-pyo's character in Chicago Typewriter, which is on the face of it a completely ridiculous reincarnation drama, and features three people who have known each other and have an unbreakable bond in 1930s Seoul under the brutal colonization of the Japanese regime, which all three of them are trying to fight, and the present day, in which all three of them are doing very different things and end up meeting in very different circumstances. For a reason that will become obvious, the minute you start the drama, the end game was never going to be anything other than the main leads, who are Yoo Ah-in's character and Im Soo-jung's character. And yet you see that their love story would not have been possible without this second lead, and that the the love that he bears for Insu Jung's character is actually complemented by how deeply he feels for Yu Ain's character as well. So it is true, it is a love triangle. There is like a straight, there is a straight connection where, I mean, he wants the girl. And yet what you end up seeing is, he's actually, like, he's the glue that binds them together, which is, I think, quite rare and refreshing in the romantic tangles of K-dramas. And three great actors. Ko Kyung-pyo's character is a sweetheart. Both his roles in the past and in the present are just beautiful. And actually, sorry, to go back on my own opinion, which I gave at the start of this is one drama where the romance actually works for me. Like, I can believe it, I can feel the heat, I can feel the tension. So that's my pick. Can I go for the second one?
Yes.
Okay, this is from a silly youth saga, a fusion saga called Love in the Moonlight, which was a record-breaking hit a few years ago in Korea. Yeah, it's super charming. It also has its flaws, obviously, but I think one of the biggest things it got right was there are the supporting cast, the kind of the three supporting leads, apart from the two main leads, were beautifully cast, really well written, and even when they had very little to do, they just elevated that universe. And one of them was in the role of like the stereotypically bitchy female second lead. Like, your main lead is where she's like the sweet, klutzy, poor girl who captures the heart of the prince. The second female lead is from one of the best families in the land, and she is the woman with whom the prince's marriage is arranged.
Yeah.
And she thinks she should have him. She loves him. She's never had, like, nobody's ever said no to her in life. The stage is set, right, for like an enormous bitch to be born. But this girl is genuinely like smart and sincere and sweet, and she's wholeheartedly in love with the male lead. But she gets that he's never going to love her in the way that she wants. And so whatever, there's a lot of drama, blah, blah, blah. And the two of them like have a wedding. They have a wedding day. And this is just a little bit after halfway through the drama, and you see her getting dressed. And in saga, it's like when a princess is getting married, she gets dolled up in like layers and layers of. So you're seeing the weight of the throne that she's about to assume getting to her. It's sitting on her, and just the quiet devastation on her face as that happens. I remember this. Yeah, I mean, Choi Soo-bin is a very, very talented actor. She can, like, I'll watch anything for her. I will fish things out of the garbage can if like she's on a package. So I've never forgotten that. She brought like a lot of maturity to a very breezy, very young sort of drama.
Yeah.
Those are my picks.
Very, very confident character, true.
Yeah.
Bets?
Okay, so well,
sorry, you were saying something, Supriya.
No. I want to hear Bets's answer.
Yeah, okay, so I have three. I'm just going to rush through them pretty quickly.
Okay.
Of course, the first is Rewind. I don't know where to begin with Ryu Jun-ho's character. Like, he played Jung Hwan, and we all kind of see how he kind of went through that scenario, and he had so many opportunities. And I would say, like, it was very heartbreaking for his, but I would say the best man won. As much as it breaks my heart, so like just punches me so hard. His was just so heartbreaking. I don't even know where to begin with his, right? But I would say he's my first character that I would have wished would have gotten the girl at the end. But as you said, it is what it is. Like, you want what you want, right? And Doksun's character preferred or wanted what she wanted. The second one would be Choi Si-won's character in She Was Pretty.
Fine.
Jackson!
There's this scene, I think I should have sent you a picture of him where he was. I cried in that heartbreaking, so hard, because that's also the scene where he went to help her when there was a car crash, and he's kind of bleeding, but he got there later and he fell off his bike, I think. And he obviously had confessed to her, but he was very passive, like passive aggressive about it. And he was kind of hot and cold, and he'll be mean to her, nice to her, mean to her, nice to her. Like, you broke my heart. Like, oh, I'm forgetting about it. And he'll come back again and say, well, I love you, but no, I hate you. I thought that was very funny. He made a joke about it, but like, you could just see how like devastating it was, like just heart-wrenching. And I just thought that was because he was always there too. Like
Let's move on to the third one, because that's Shruti's answer. You're taking away
No,
everything.
it's fine. She's doing my work.
I'd like to hear what you have to say about it, actually. And then the third one, Shruti, I know you don't care about this, but it's Lee Dong-hyun's character in Hotel Del Luna. He was the second lead, and he was
Look at that face.
a firefly the whole time. Just watching over her for hundreds of years. Are you kidding me? That one killed me. And I remember when they're telling the main lead about his first guest, and he was like, what do you mean first guest? That wasn't my first guest. He was there the whole time. Like, could you be more, like, could there be anything as hurtful as being a second lead and not even
Betsy,
being
your
there?
video quality is not that great.
At all.
Yeah, I thought I was the only one who couldn't
even
hear her.
knowing you're there,
That's-
right? So I just think, so those are my three, like, basically. I don't want to be. Did I get
Bets,
you there?
your video and audio just keeps cutting off.
I'm here.
Yeah. Now you're
Yeah.
now you're
Oh,
okay.
geez.
Yeah. But it's fine
Did
now.
you hear any of what I said at all? Yeah.
Do a quick
Yeah.
rewind of the last part.
Of Lee Dong-hyun.
Well, I was just saying he spent half the time being a firefly, which was terrible and just heartbreaking, because he was there for her all this time. They didn't even know he was there half the time. And I remember when they told the main lead that your first guest, you should take care of your first guest. And he's like, first guest? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And turns out he was the first guest. He was there the whole time, years and years and years. I think she was there for over 500 years. He was there as a firefly, like, so heartbreaking. And so I think that would be my third one, like, which is like number one. And I know it's IU, and Shruti has kind of like a thing for IU. She's her favorite character.
No, I can't stand IU. I hate her with
Why
passion.
don't we tell the world why you can't stand
Why?
IU also? Let's get that out of the way.
Because the love of my life, my soulmate, John
That's
Jungkook,
what you
has the
can't
biggest
have.
crush on IU. So she's
Oh.
like my nemesis.
Oh,
I
geez.
hate
Fair,
IU.
fair.
Right?
Well,
Yeah.
Yes.
She got,
absolutely.
I mean, I love her, but I
I
see where you're
love
coming
her.
from.
Likewise,
so-
we are with you on that, Supriya.
Love her. Oh,
Love her.
Love her. IU
Yeah.
stands.
My most heartbreaking moment was, let me share my screen, and it is this scene which Betsy just spoke about, the car crash scene.
yeah.
in She Was Pretty. So exactly the same scene that he spoke about, where Jackson, Choi Si-won, found out that her car was not working, and he thought she may have been in an accident. So the way he rushed in the pouring rain to like save her or to check up on her, and by the time he reached there, he already saw Park Seo-joon, the lead actor, there, kind of like, taking care of her, hugging or whatever. And it was just, and while driving through the crazy rain, he actually hurt himself, right? Like his hand was bleeding or something.
Yeah.
And it was just, excuse me.
Choking
It was
up.
very, no, I just followed my sweat, but yeah, also choking up. Good dramatic effect. Damn it. Yeah, no, I was totally choking up.
Just totally lost it.
It was super heartbreaking, and he just he didn't even let her know that he was there at the scene. He just quietly backed away, and that was very, very heartbreaking. I cried. And I want to talk about one scene. You guys are gonna laugh. This is actually from Boys Over Flowers. I have a big soft corner for Kim Yoon-jung, the musician in F4. Wow, where do I begin? There were so many scenes where he was just like, he had to pretend that he didn't really like her because she was in love with his best friend, and he just had to be like the wingman there and like, bro code, bros. So there was this one scene where I think it was during the race, remember? When what's his face? Lee Min Ho was biking or like racing or something, and he just had to, like, Kim Yoon Jung had to kind of comfort her that no, it's fine. We are doing this race. There was a swimming contest. There was a racing thing. They were trying to win like the competition or
Yeah,
something,
there's a lot of
and he just
stuff.
had to pretend that oh, I'm only doing this to like make him jealous and blah blah blah. But like in his inner self wanted the ship to happen, right? The ship to sail. So it was like really, really heartbroken, where he had to pretend that he was strong and he's being a good friend, but like deep inside, he wanted the girl come journey so badly. So yeah, there were a lot of heartbreaking scenes in Boys Over Flowers. I know that show is trash, but it had some good moments.
Purvaja is going to be so happy that you picked this. Shout out to Purvaja.
Purvaja. Yeah.
Who was
Shall
a part
yours.
of who was a part of the show where we discussed these feel-good trashy dramas with Bets.
Yeah.
So the first one that Bets mentioned, right? So Jangwon is that one particular scene where Shoots, if you want, you can just cover your ears or put the laptop on mute right now, and I'll tell you when to bring it back.
Okay.
So this is a scene towards the very end of Reply 1988, when he finally gets a chance to confess to Toxina, and it's the most I think it's the most courageous honesty, if there is a thing like that, where it's threadbare, right? He just tells her everything that he's done, everything that he has felt. I have not seen that kind of a confession anywhere from anyone, especially a second lead. And then from that to quickly turn things around and say, oh, this was just a joke, which also obviously we all saw coming. But then I think what really broke my heart was that ring, when I'm pretty sure that even though he was just acting, it would have broken his heart too, that it's there and I have to pretend that I'm not going to pick it up. That ring just stays there on the table next to the beer glasses. I think more than the confession, it's just seeing that ring there and look, thinking of the ring developing feelings that may have transferred from him to the ring in that time. I felt bad for the ring. So, I mean, and I'm not even kidding, right? It's just, it's the most heartbreaking scene. I think about that scene and it breaks my heart. I don't think there's been any, any moment which is about love, which has pained me so much than that moment. Just seeing that ring lying there and everybody just leaving happily and paging take to come to the next bar like nothing happened. So that is the most heartbreaking moment that I chose. Okay, very heavy. Now to something light. A second lead that you would want to date, again across genders, and a second lead that you would want to friend zone. But one thing that we would like to clarify: we don't think of friend zoning as anything lesser. It's just that there are some people we'd much rather have as a friend, because friends are very valuable, and you need somebody to bitch about the date with. So your pick on who you would want to date amongst the second leads that you like, and who you would want to friend zone. Again, starting with you, Supriya.
I'm going to pick a very, very low-key second lead who, in an extremely low-key drama where all the characters were just sweethearts. Because I think when it comes to real life, I do not want drama. I want someone normal and cute. And this is Sojun, the writer in Romance is a Bonus Book, who is the package. I don't know if you guys have, I don't know if all of you have seen that drama. But anyway, so Romance is a Bonus Book is full of perfect guys. And this guy is, no different. He's a great writer. He's on his way to success. He's very cute. He's played by Wee Ha-jung. He has good taste because he sees Kang Dani, the lead, and he's instantly like, "Oh my God, I love you. You're so great," which is fantastic. She's like an older single mother, and he doesn't let that stop him. And he's he behaves like a perfect gentleman. And I feel like since he didn't end up with who he wanted, I will take him. Seems like just like the sweetest, most thoughtful guy to have in your life. And the friend zone question, I want to say every female second lead ever, even though so many of them are just, so many of them are, at least, the traditional ones they all remind you of like Caroline Bingley in Pride and Prejudice. Like they're written to be like the slightly comic girl that you don't want to hang out with. You're like, no, she's the mean girl. But they get stuff done, they have feelings, they're whatever, they're like poor little rich girls, or like I said, they're the ones I end up wanting to hang out with and going like, there's more to life than romance. Let's tell me what else you've got going. Like, that's the conversation I want to have with them. So those are my picks.
Bets?
For me, I would go with Baek In-ho's character in Cheese in the Trap, because he didn't have anything, but he was still willing to just risk it all. He didn't have anything, but then he was just so sweet, always helpful, always there for her. And this scene actually just killed me, because this is where he said, I like Doug Fir, because that's his catchphrase, or the nickname he gave her because of her ginger hair, right? And it was just so adorable. And the fact that he was going to even like give up whatever he was doing, because he was a talented player, right? And he just wanted to kind of just be with her. That's all he wanted. And like, I do have a soft spot for Park Hae-jin. Also, I know you guys are going to make faces, but I love him. But I would still pick him. And for friend zone stroke, someone I would take would be Kim Kyung-nam's character in The King, Eternal Monarch. So her friend, her partner, I felt he just got like just pushed to the side for some reason. Like, and he was just perfect for her. Like, he could kind of match her tempo and everything. Like, he didn't stand against anything with Lee Min-ho at all. He was going to lose anytime. But I just thought he was just such like a beautiful character. No drama, as you said too. Like, it's just, they're not going to give you any headache or anything. They're just there for you to take care of you.
He's hot,
That's
dude.
what you want, right? Oh my God, just the best character. So those would be my two picks. Like,
very hot and a great actor. I can't wait to see him in the lead.
I know. Yeah.
Amazing. I would want to date Kim Woo Bin in Heirs. Because he's freaking Kim Woo Bin. Like, I can't believe they chose Kim Woo Bin as a second lead. Like, he deserves to be lead in every show. He was amazing.
And shirtless, just saying. Just putting it out there. Manifesting.
He has the best sense of humor. And like, he's one of those characters that I strongly, passionately hated in the first like 10, 12 episodes. And then after that, I don't know, the whole switch happened with Heirs. I'm like, wow, I love this guy so much. I love this character. And definitely want to date him. Friend zone, I want to friend zone again Kim Yoon-jung from Boys Over Flowers. I still keep going back. Betsy, it was my first Korean drama ever, and I keep going back to Boys Over Flowers. And Kim Yoon-jung, like, his smile, just like, I think that's where the true Korean love and like, love for oppas began from him and Lee Min-ho, as embarrassing as that sounds. So definitely, I want Kim Yoon-jung as my friend. And Chef, you.
I think, Shoots, you restore my belief in all those things pure and innocent, right? That first love still matters.
Yeah, it does.
Be it in real life or in dramas. Okay, so date Park Seo-joon from Kill Me, Heal Me for sure, because that is the, I think just in terms of, the kind of dynamic, right? I remember talking about it to people because I was just so blown by the way they sort of show that he's somebody who doesn't see her as a sister, even though she was adopted, and that was supposed to be the thing, and yet falls in love with her and loves her unconditionally. Definitely dating this guy or going out on a date with him. Friend zoning, Kwan Nara, which is Osuha from Itaewon class. In general, also, like how Supriya was saying, right? So what I feel is that the few second leads that are females in K-dramas, for some reason you don't feel empathy for them, but you feel pity for them. And I think that's something for these guys to figure out. How can they write those characters better? But in Itaewon class, they did, they didn't do that, because it's generally a better written drama as well. She's not, you don't see her as somebody who's insecure. She will, she's a good person, and she's, she's got the girl's side as well, and she'll hang out with her. And I think she's just very secure in the way she is. And I would love to have a friend like that. So definitely friend zoning her.
Plus, sorry for the spoiler for anyone who hasn't watched it, but like she's running her own restaurant in which Park Bogum is the chef at the end.
She gets Bogami in the end. Who wouldn't want that? So yes, I would want to be friends with her even more. Yes. So now, okay. Okay. Quick wrap up scenes, guys. Who would you want? Whose spin-off you would want to see, or somebody who you think could have ended differently? Supriya.
It's not so much a spin-off as a remake. I want to confess I didn't finish watching The King Eternal Monarch, but for 10 episodes, I watched it for 10 or maybe 11 episodes, just purely, I'm not lying, guys, because I was transfixed by the character of Chang Eun-chae, Kusaryong, the Prime Minister. Because, from like the first, who is the prime minister in the monarchy. And from the first episode, every time she was on screen, I was just like, is she going to do something that an actual prime minister would do? No. And I just kept watching and I was like, this makes no political sense. This, this would be a disaster in a real world country. And yet she's all the things, right? She's like competent, she's talented. Clearly she's been like elected and she's enormously popular. So I'm like, okay, how would this drama look if Chang Eun-chae was actually like behaving like a prime minister through most of this? And you could still have the tension, right? Like she could still hate, like she could still be the villain because she, it's not hard. She's a prime minister. She hates the king. She wants to see him out of power. Like it could work.
Like her in Commander-in-Chief, basically.
It's but she shouldn't. No, okay, we can't. We don't have enough time to talk about this. She should not be in that command room. Okay, it should be like a military chief of staff. Nobody has any business doing that. But anyway, so I would really like to see a show about her, but like make her role make sense.
Yeah.
Nice. Good one.
That's
okay. So for my characters would be the 2 second leads from Crash Landing on You.
nice.
I almost had a heart attack, and that was Kim Jong-un's character, which Kim Jong-un, love him. Yeah. And I'm like, really? Like he dies? Like why?
Yeah.
So I would love to see both, like the 2 leads, second leads, both end up like right now, do that thing, because I am like beyond myself. Because I'm watching this and I'm like, why is this? Like, why did they let this happen, right? So I would love both of that to happen. And the second would be, well, I was gonna say the Reaper and Sunny, but they had their own spin-off later on. So yeah, from Goblin. I was really excited about that. And obviously, Becky and Ho in Cheese and Draft. I would really love to see, like to see what happens after that. Like, okay, I can give them a script if they want. Okay, just do it. I would like to give them a script, but those would be my own kind of options for the spin-off. I would really love to see that, especially the Crash Landing on You part. Like, I mean, they can make it like some supernatural thing and bring him back. I don't care how they do it, but they should just do it, right? I think that would be my bad choice.
So reincarnations and scripts coming your way.
Betsy's taking away all my answers. One of my answer was So Kang Joon's character ending up with Kim Go-eun, leading She's in the Trap, because he definitely, like, he deserved her, he cared for her, there was great chemistry. And as Chef clearly pointed it out from the start, that the lead guy, Park Hae-jun, who is Betsy's bae, was an asshole. Like, he was just a psychopath. He did not deserve her at all. He was really weird. So definitely I want to see So Kang Joon paired up with Kim Go-eun. I would love to see that spin-off. And since we're also talking about like, second lead couples whose story we want to see more as a spin-off or as a remake, as Supriya mentioned, I definitely want to see, I don't think many people have watched this. It's a new Netflix show. It's called Run On. It's not that popular. You've seen it? Okay, perfect. Yeah, okay.
Fantastic show.
I hate the lead couple story, but the second lead couple, the older the actress and the younger painter, I love them. Like I love their story, their acting, their chemistry. Like the lead that second lead actress, she is amazing, so powerful. I love her character, and the younger guy who like Nuna's her all the time, he is just so adorable, and I want to see more of that. Like I literally skip through the whole show just to see their scenes. So I want to see more of them. So these are my two picks. Chef, you.
So I would want to see a spin-off of Namjuri, the female second lead in It's Okay to Not Be Okay, the nurse who's also Kim So-hyun's friend, because she's got something nice. She goes through a nice evolution, and now she's got something nice going with the publisher. I would really like, a spin-off of that. I'd really love to watch the two together and what they're going to be up to in their lives. Definitely want to do that. I want to see that. And one person who I wish had had a better ending, or wouldn't mind a spin-off there as well, is Minhari from She Was Pretty, because she was a nice friend. She agreed to do it for her friend because the friend wanted to pretend to be her. She does that. Then how can she not fall for the guy, man? It's Park Seo-joon we're talking about. So she falls for him. I mean, big whoop. And then after that, so sweetly she puts everything in a letter and she sends it, and then she's like, let's talk and all of that. I feel like she needs to have whatever it is that, whichever course her life takes. And I need to see that, because she was a nice person, and I want to see more of her. She was a very genuinely nice friend and a potential girlfriend, and like a friend with a male guy as well. So that's it.
Yay! So that brings us to the end of our episode 10 of the Lachimolala Diaries. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining in and staying with us through 10 weeks of this. And we're hoping to see you again next week, or maybe 2 weeks. We might take a quick break in the middle. And again, let us know in the comments below what if there's any topic you guys want us to cover. And also don't forget to like, share, subscribe, share with your friends, family, pets. And Chef, do you want to say anything to sign off?
I normally say bye, but this time I want to say thank you to both the guests for coming here for discussing the second leads with us. Thank you so much, guys. And we hope to see you both again sometime soon.
Yes.
Thank you so much. This has been so much fun.
We're glad.
Thank you for having me.
Trudy, we should relate our answers next time. We should talk about this.
I know, right?
Last time. We just forgot again.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, bye.
Bye. I stopped recording. I have stopped recording.
Wait, it is still recording. It still says recording.